Welcome to Locize. This is a walkthrough of the entire product in about 12 minutes. We don't do sales calls, so if you've asked us for a demo, this is what we'd show you. Most translation tools give you a file. You export it, commit it, ship a build. Locize works that way too if you want, but it also gives you a URL. Translators update copy. The URL serves the new version. Your app picks it up. No build, no deploy. That single architectural option changes the whole workflow. Translation isn't a release blocking step anymore. It runs alongside your code, and updates ship in seconds instead of days. Your app connects to Locize via a back-end plugin, the API or the CLI. When code references a translation key that doesn't exist yet, a button label, an error message, it's reported to Locize automatically. From there, AI, or machine translation, gives you a first draft. Translators review and refine in a dedicated editor, and when you publish, the new translations go live via CDN. Whether you start from existing JSON files or instrument a fresh app, the whole loop runs without anyone juggling files in pull requests. Locize is built by the team that created I-18 Next, one of the most widely used I-18 frameworks in JavaScript. We're a Swiss company, GDPR-compliant, trusted by teams worldwide from solo developers to global brands. No sales reps, no procurement cycles, no MSAs. Pricing is fully laid out, no quotes. You sign up and you're inside the product within a minute, ready to create your first project. The setup is short. For I-18 Next users, install the Locize backend plugin, add your project ID and API key, enable Save Missing. 3 lines of config and your app is live. Not on I-18 Next? The CLI lets you push and pull translations as part of your build. There's a GitHub action for sync, another for download, plus a full REST API if you need finer control. Already have translation files? Drag and drop them straight into Locize from the project dashboard. JSON, YAML, XLIF, getText, .strings, .xc strings, RESX, and many more. Or use the CLI to migrate the whole project in one command. The full integration walkthrough is on our YouTube channel. Link in the description. Once keys are in Locize, your team works in the CAT editor. All target languages for a key sit side by side. Translators filter by language, state, tags, full text search, and if you've added the Locize last used plugin, by keys that haven't been used in months. Gold for cleaning up dead translations before a release. The glossary highlights approved and forbidden terminology. Pair it with a project style guide, tone, formality, brand voice, and every translator and every AI prompt sees the same rules. When the glossary spots an inconsistency, it flags it in line, like this taskly key, where the German drifts from the defined term. Each key can carry a context description, character limits, and screenshots showing where the string appears in the UI. The screenshot sits right next to the segment, exactly the context that's also injected into AI translation prompts. Machine-translated strings are marked fuzzy with a one-click clear once a human has confirmed. Beyond the editor, the in-context editor lets translators work in the actual running app via a pop-up overlay. If you're already using ChatGPT or Claude for translations, you've probably hit 3 walls. Terminology drifts across languages. There's no review safety net for production copy, and every typo fix means another build. Locize is the layer between your AI and your users that solves all 3. AI translates, Locize manages. Watch what happens when a developer adds a new translation key. Right now, this project is barely halfway translated. Many languages are still sitting at lower percentages. The team has set up a style guide that defines the brand voice, informal tone, an open-source developer audience, do's and don'ts, even per-language formality mappings. That style guide is automatically injected into every AI prompt, alongside the project's glossary and any key-level descriptions or screenshots. Now I add a new key in the source language and save it. Behind the scenes, automatic translation fires. Using either the built-in Locize AI service or your own API key for OpenAI, Gemini, Mistral, or DeepL, and fills in every target language with a context-aware first draft. The same translation engine drives bulk actions across whole namespaces, single-segment AI suggestions, and the in-editor AI assistant for rephrasing or shortening to fit a UI constraint. And when AI isn't enough, legal text, regulated copy, brand-critical messaging, you can order professional human translation directly from inside Locize. We're integrated with Supertext, TextMaster, Blend, and Translated. AI gives you speed. Automated quality checks and the review workflow give you the safety net. Translations with issues are flagged in line, like this interpolated text segment, where the source string has a placeholder, but a target was translated without it. Locize runs a set of consistency checks across every translation. The bulk actions panel runs them all. Glossary consistency, translation memory, I18N syntax, exists in source, source changed warnings, character limits, and array size. Run them per segment, per namespace, or across the whole project. When a translator edits a key, source changed warnings cascade across every target. Review goes one step further. So Locize gives you a configurable review workflow. Production translations should not ship until a second pair of eyes has signed off. You decide which languages need it. Production-facing German might require it, while internal Spanish strings might not. Check the boxes for the languages where review is mandatory, and you're done. Once enabled, when a translation is created or modified by a translator, by AI, or by automatic translation, it enters a pending review state. A reviewer with the right role sees the proposed change and can accept or reject it. Multiple reviewers can weigh in. Here, one reviewer is approving the Hungarian translation, while another is rejecting an alternative version. Only approved translations get published. Every change is tracked per key. Prior values, who edited them, when. Full history, ready for an audit. Now back to the URL story. When you publish, translations are pushed to a global CDN. Your app fetches them at runtime. A typo fix, a new language, all live without redeploying. The publish modal shows per language and per namespace status. What's up to date, what's pending. Publish manually or turn on auto-publish per version. Pick the right CDN tier, standard, pro, or private downloads for authenticated delivery, and set cache duration per version. Continuous flow for development, deliberate control for production. Versions and branches let translation work follow the same patterns as your code. Versions are parallel translation sets. The default version is latest. That's where your team adds new keys and edits ongoing work. Production versions hold what's live for users. Branches go further. Spin one up alongside a feature branch in your repo. Edit translations in the branch. Overrides only show up there, marked clearly so a translator knows what's branch specific. The parent project is unaffected. Branches inherit style guide, glossary, and language settings from the parent. If you're building SaaS, multi-tenant lets each of your customers override translations for their own brand or terminology without you maintaining separate projects. Each tenant inherits everything from the parent and overrides only what's different. When a tenant overrides a source language value, downstream target language translations are flagged automatically, so the tenant's translators see exactly which strings need rechecking. And as overrides accumulate, the bulk Run Issue Checks panel surfaces unnecessary ones. Overrides where the tenant value matches the parent. One bulk action removes them and keeps your data clean. Different roles, same project. Developers get the CLI, REST API, GitHub Actions for sync and download, and native i18 Next plugins. Your codebase stays the source of truth. Translators get the editor, AI assistant for rephrasing or shortening, translation memory, glossary, and quality checks, without ever touching a repository. Engineering leaders and product managers get role-based access scoped per language, namespace, or version, plus dashboards for translation coverage and word counts across versions. And your data is yours. Export every language and namespace as a zip from the editor, download via the CLI, or pull through the API. Automated backups with Restore from Snapshot are available on paid plans. There's no lock-in. Take your translations with you whenever you want. Enterprise teams get SAM Lesso, project-level MFA enforcement, an audit log for user and permission events, and full GDPR-compliant data processing from a Swiss jurisdiction. If you use Claude, Cursor, or VS Code with Copilot, the Locize MCP server connects your AI assistant directly to your translation projects. The server runs locally, authenticated with a personal access token. A dedicated setup video walks through the install, link in the description. Once running, 22 tools cover the full lifecycle. Check coverage, report new keys, publish a version, create a branch, manage languages, all from natural language inside your editor. This is what makes Locize infrastructure for AI workflows, not a tool that competes with AI. Your assistant generates translations. Locize manages them. That's Locize. Continuous localization, AI you can ship, and a workflow that grows with your team. Start free at locize.com. 14-day full-feature trial, no credit card required. There's a permanent free plan for small projects too.